Right, ladies and gents, we're back out again, back to basics, in quite a true sense of the term actually. Sorry, I'll move you out of the sun. For some reason, the camera's having a hissy fit every time I put it in 4K, so I'm actually having to film this in a step down as well. Where are we? Where are we fishing? Well, we are on Mablethorpe. We were supposed to be meeting up with some fellas who could help me master the magic of bait pumping, because it's just complete and utter witchcraft to me. And then the one fella that was supposed to be showing, who pumps irregular, hasn't rocked up, has he? Dan. Anyway, back to basics. I'll roll the credits. We've no set up time lapse. I'm going to try and cut down the time lapses, at least while the sun is up. We've got maybe an hour of sunlight left. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get on with baiting up this rig. Right, yeah, like I said, no messing about today. Let's go back to basics a little bit. Now this, the only thing, you know, it's all well and good saying I'm going back to basics, but of course I'm a bit more experienced than I was when I last used to film like this. So you'll have to excuse my ignorance. Now, this is a paternoster rig. I'm going to use an up and over rig as well, but this one is a paternoster rig. I do have a rig tying video on how to tie a paternoster rig. We've got a little SRT spring up here, a couple of beads. We've got the hook snood off to the left, the main rig body off to the right, and it's a pennant paternoster. Really simple rig, connects up the top, and it puts a bait flat on the bottom. Why? Because we've had catch reports of rays, that's why. And as you know, that's on my bucket list for this year. That's one of my target species this year. I've got a Namix lead on the bottom, with my usual Trident tackle setup, a roto clip to a Thermalink. I've got a Sakuma 5.0 backed with a Cox and Roll crab hook, because it was all I had in the size that I wanted. And what we're going to do, what we're going to put on this is, let me just go and get it, because like I said, I've just had a hell of a time getting set up. I've got my elastic. Right, what we're going to put on this is we're going to put an hermit crab, Hooker's Bait's hermit crab. Okay, so that's how they come when they're out of that packaging. If you've watched the bait review, that's what was in that package that obviously I said was hermit crab. And we're going to put a chunk of razor behind it. I'm using some stronger, thicker baits, as it were, because I plan on leaving this out for a little while. I'm going to let the tide come in over it a little bit. That's the plan anyway. So what I'm going to do, or try to do, probably should have got a bigger bait mate out, is I'm going to lash this down just a little bit, and I'm putting the whole hermit on. I'll be honest, I have no idea if that's the right thing to do, but that's what I'm going with, and that's what, you know, I ask from you guys, is let me know what, you know, if there's a better way to do what I'm doing. So we'll lash it on a little bit to start with. So this bait's going to go out for a while, so I am going to lash it on quite well, and then I'm going to put, what I should have done actually is put the hook on first. Right, now that that's held together just a little bit, is that going to sit proud enough? That will. That will. I've buggered up a little bit. I've put it, I'm doing things that are in the wrong order. Let's do it the right way, eh? Slide that off. Put the hook on. I'm using a Baitmate baiting tool, none of which has been provided for me to review. This is all bought with my own money. And that way, the hook is on the back of the bait, all right? So then we're going to lash it on, paying close attention to putting plenty of lashing on as to essentially where the hook eye is going to sit. So plenty of elastic, don't be shy. Like I said, this bait, my intention is for it to stay out for some time. So we're going to pay close attention. Thank you very much, sir. And that's probably the only time I'm going to say thank you for hearing a bell. I've just asked Marcus, because this is going down there while I set the others up, if he'll lend me a tip bell. I hate them, but needs must. Alright, so we put loads of whipping on that. You see that hook is staying nice and proud of the back there. We'll slide it off. Okay, there's my bait presentation. Yeah, and then we'll just move the pennel hook down behind it. Alright. Like I said, I'm doing this because I'd love to know what you think. Now what, I know what some of you think. What I'm going to do is just put this circle hook just through the back of the bait facing the other way. Alright. Just like that. Yeah, and what I've done is I've hooked on through some of the elastic. So hopefully this bait won't move until I fluff the cast, because I'm going for an off the ground cast. And I've only done 4 of them. I might not do, actually. I might just go for a standard thump. Yeah, let's go for a standard thump. And then I'm going to set, yeah, I'll set the other rod up and I'll do some practicing of off the ground. And I'll try and get it on video. Did I wire that up right? Yeah, that feels good. Right, let's go for it. Let's go for it. So let's have you down here. I need to move off to the right a little bit when I cast. So let's angle you a little bit. And then, like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the other one up with just a lead on it, and I'll practice some off the ground on video for your criticism. God, this feels heavy because the lead, because I moved the rod, I moved the reel down. It makes it feel so heavy. Right, now walk straighten up a little bit, because I was going to try and learn to cast with my left hand, but I'm not ready for that. I need to do that on a field, really. I'll get the other rod set up. I've had quite a lot of people asking actually what my setup is, so I'll run you through it now while it's still daylight, and then I'll get the other one set up. Let me show you its features. So down here, start off down here. All I've done is I've just put some X-Wrap on this. This is a Leader Icon Elite Power, M Sport Elite Power. It's a 13-foot rod, handles everything I've thrown out beautifully. I've got Pen Fathom 2 12 magged down here, which has got upgraded bearings in it, which I love. I think it's great. Going, and then we've just put this in a sand spike, because this was meant to be sort of my mobile setup. I was going to set up down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the other rod, the Grey's Shadow, with the 515 magged on it, and do some casting practice while I wait for the tide to come in. So we'll get this one set up. We're not going to put a rig on it, and we're just going to do a couple of practice casts, and then we'll put a rig on it, and we'll see if we can bang this one out as well. And then I've put the fine tip on rod number 3. That's right, guys, 3 rods today. And on that one is going to go a fixed pull. It's going to be a 3-up flapper rig to try and make sure we don't blank. So flatties, whiting, anything really. Bit of scratch, not necessarily scratching. I wouldn't call it scratching, because that's not the proper name for the technique that I'm going to be using. It's just fishing margins. It's, you know, trying to make sure bases are covered, that's all. Shooby-doo, dooby-doo, dooby-doo-doo-doo. And then we're going to put an up and over rig on and completely massacre the other off the ground cast by not doing it right, because we're too nervous. And trying to switch over to left hand. you have a bite, did you? Oh, we might have a fish to show. This is Jonathan, by the way, of Little and Large on TikTok. It's a ting. It's one of them tings. It's a ting. Oh, there we go. Right. I'm going to try and get everything in frame. This is going to be difficult. Right, let's move the camera back here a little bit. And I'm going to have to go down here a little bit. I can't see my other line because the sun's in my eyes. Right. So, first things first, that's not long enough. So we need to go for about there. I need a bit more drag on. I'm going to take that off. I'm not doing pendulum, I'm just laying the lead. And then holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. That took a lot. That took a lot. That took a lot of line. Actually not looking forward to winding this all the way back in now. Holy. I don't know where it went. It didn't go particularly straight, but what it did do is it went out. It didn't go up. What I am bothered about is catching my other line, which it now feels like I've done, because there's only a lead on this, and now I'm feeling drag. Right, let's have another go at that, because that was quite successful. It's just space, really, because I've cast that other rod out. I don't have much space. So, rod tip down, as low as you can make it. Straighten that arm. That did not go straight at all. It was a good cast, but it didn't go straight at all. Now I'm letting go just a smidge too soon. Would that be fair to say? Yeah. Right, I'm going to go to the other side of my rod, other side of my line, because I seem to be hanging right. I don't know what that is in golfing terms, because golf is a good way to ruin a good walk. So behind me, straighten my arms, and like a spear, like a javelin. I got the mags all the way on, near enough. Making sure I haven't got lee, because I've gone heavy again. Doesn't look like it. No, I just had some seaweed. One last go. Come on, Russ, nice and straight. No, too early again. Oh, overran that one. Caught it in time. Oh no, that did go nice and straight. I thought I fluffed that one. I've still caught my other line though. Or I can see another line in front of me. Yeah, probably must be mine. Still not confident really enough to do that with a bait on. Not with so many anglers around me. It's not fair on them. The other thing is, on this little reel, on this little spool, God, it takes ages to reel in. But hopefully, somewhere amongst all that, we've got some usable footage of casting practice. I've caught myself again. There we go. So, let's get some more fishing done, eh? I'll go rig up this rod, put another big bait out, and then we'll get a 3-hook clip down and we'll get that into the waves, see what we can pick up. I'll see you in a bit. Rig number 2 today, or big rig number 2 today, is an up and over. Come with me, we'll have a look at it. So get it off the winder. Really long snood on a up and over, but a short compact rig body. Once again, puts a bait flat on the bottom. No, I'll get this baited up and then I'll quickly show you the rig. I'll put a bit of razor on the back of it. I've never caught anything using razor, so we'll give it a fair shout. Oh, hello. I can see a bit of weed on line. There we go. Nice big sausage of bait. So we've got a squid, a razor clam, and 2 big blacks. Yeah. Hook sitting on the back there. And we'll bring the circle down. Now normally I'd hook the circle through the back of the bait, but in this instance I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna leave it sat there. That's why I use the silicone and the bead on the back here, because it gives you that versatility of not putting it through. So there's my bait. Let's pull this back through. Dear God, one of them days today. Of course I've put my drag all the way back on as well, haven't I? Right, clip down rig. Not a clip down rig, up and over rig they call it, don't they? Oh, do you know, when fishing goes wrong, volume 50,000. There we go. So you can see how long that rig body is. It's massive. I mean, we've not a lead on there yet, and the lead don't go down the bottom. The lead goes here, but we'll get a roto, a proper clip Russ. Stop rushing things. You can sit down after this one's in the water, Russ. I'm in quite a bit of pain with my ankle, guys, so you're going to have to bear with me. For those that don't know, I broke my ankle just before Christmas. I've had it strapped up. Said take the strapping off, so I did. Went to work in the ice. It's twisted it again. Essentially re-broke it. A lot of pain. Right, so the up and over rig that Marcus is currently trying to tie. So that bottom hook length isn't going anywhere, it's fixed. What that does is it clips up here into the Trident hangover clip, just like that, and then down into the rotor. You've got a large long snood in a small package. Those of you that were in the live that I did the other week saw me make that completely from memory. I've never tied one before. Obviously I've watched videos because I watch everybody's videos. But let's bang this out. And then we can focus on the third rig, which, like I say, is going to be a much smaller rig. I'm not going to take you down there with me this time. Right. Rod number 3. Right. 3 clip down. It is what it says on the tin, really. It's 3 hooks that once again clip down. The reason I always tie, and I do always tie, a 3 hook clip down instead of tying just a flapper rig is it gives you that option when you're out fishing. So you know what, yes, it's some small hooks, but I want to chuck it out there, I want to get it out there. Well, the flapper will reduce your ability to do that. Whereas a clip down, it all clips down into a slimline package. You'll notice a theme here, and it's something that I stick to. I don't see any point in going over to a flapper rig, for example, on smooth ground where you know chances are you're not going to lose any gear. He says that now, doesn't it? And on this we're going to use, because I've decided, we're going to use some live worm or fresh worm. We're going to use some squid and black wraps from Hookers, the worms from Hookers as well. As I say, I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but we've got a spring clip up here. The hook snoods are in the red on the right, or in the red, and then it clips down into a cascade swivel here, and that sits on a spring, which then clips down into another cascade swivel here, which doesn't sit on a spring, which then clips down into the lead down here. And it gives you the option then of fishing small baits either close in. It doesn't have to be small baits, you can put bigger hooks on. These are just some size ones. Gives you the option then to be able to gives you the option then to be able to cast it out far if you want to, or keep it in close if you don't. It's entirely up to you. You know, it's one of them where you can use it how you see fit. I keep smelling fire, so we'll bang this one out and then I'm going to have a break. So I'm not going to film this cast, it's just going to be an overhead thump, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put you back behind me and you can enjoy the ambience, because it's one of those nights where it's a lovely night, lovely evening. So while ever the sun's setting, why don't you have a chill out with me and watch them rods. I'm not going to time lapse it, I'll let it run. I'll speak to you in a bit. I really should reel that one in. You know, fishing's supposed to be relaxing sometimes. Right guys, I'll turn you off. Sun's pretty much set, so it's pointless me doing any more of this live footage. So I'll turn you off. I'll see you in a bit. Said I'd bring you back if aught happened, and literally we've just had a bite, so I'm just waiting for it to see if it goes again. Give it another minute. Yeah, there we go. It's trying to differentiate between the tide. That was a tide wave, that was a wave. Oh, if it goes now, it's not a wave. Let's have a look at that. It's heavy because I've put a 7-ounce lead on it. Keep it on the back of that wave. I got my other rig, it's heavy. We've got the littlest ever. What have we got? A little whiting. Littlest whiting. Oh, that's how sensitive this tip is. There's hook. There we go. You can have that bit of worm. Not going out about because whiting obviously don't like going back. But there we go. It's taken a long time to get to this point, but we're off the mark. Little whiting. We'll get her back. Get some fresh bait on. And get her back. But that's it. That's the scratching of the little rig. Doing what the little rig does best. Putting a fish on the beach while your specimen rigs sit there and do nothing. Little scratching rig doing, oh, you know what, I will change that bottom bait as well. We've got it here, I might as well. But this rig won't be going back on a winder tonight. It's done its time. This rig is what, I think about 8 trips now this rig's been out, so I'm surprised the hooks have still got a point on. I don't, these days, don't rate Camasan hooks, but this got, or has it? No, actually no, that's why. This has got Sakuma hooks on it. Need to find my bait scissors. Right. Sorry, that was all went on a lot longer than expected. See you in a bit. Don't forget, here on One Man and His Rod, what we show, or what I strive to show, is real fishing. All the nitty gritty, the goods, the bads, the highs, the lows. So on my channel, you're not going to see a catch report. You're going to see a true reflection of fishing on the East Coast. It's not the most prolific waters in the country by any means, but we do okay. We do okay. I do travel around, and I do plan on doing a lot of travelling this summer. And if all that sounds like fun, press that subscribe button, press that like button. Join in any conversation in the comments down below. Russ, One Man on YouTube, on Facebook. One Man and His Rod with the #1 on TikTok. Not that I do that much on TikTok, but you know, we try. I'll speak to you in a bit. Well, as you can, or perhaps turn the light on, as you can, or perhaps as you cannot see, darkness has fallen. Let's see if you can see the rods. Just about. Let's bring you around here. Now that we know where the tide is at, bring you around here. Yeah, so darkness has fallen. It is what, about, well, it is 5 o'clock or 20 past 5. So according to tide times, we're about 20 minutes, we're about an hour after high. I've had a battle on, quite frankly, and I'm knackered. So I'm going to drop down to 2 rods. I am exhausted. Well and truly exhausted. We've not seen much apart from whiting, flounders, and Johnny's just had a 3-bearded rockling. I've not been down to see Marcus. I've not had a chance. I'm not rebaiting as much as I should, because I'm just not getting chance. There's just one thing after another at the moment. Every time you know, it's largely because I adjusted the casting. You know, in an effort to try and learn a new method of casting, I adjusted the reel positions and put those Fuji NS reel seats on, which are great. But I was just cocking up the casting. I've been bird's nesting, I've been casting nowhere near what I'm capable of. So I've just stripped the icon back. I've taken the, and I've slipped my finger open as well. I've taken the X-wrap off, I've put the casters back on, I've moved the reel back up the rod, banged it out, and I'm much happier with its positioning. That cut might be a bit deeper than I thought it was. Ah well. You know, the fixed ball, flawless really, and it's the only thing that's produced fish. But I'm not fishing it properly because I'm too busy fanning about with these two. So I'm going to take the greys down. I've just rebaited it. I say just rebaited it. I think I rebaited it about half an hour ago. But I'm going to leave it another 10-15 minutes. And then when that comes in, I'm going to pack it down. But I'm going to sit and have a cup of tea. I'm going to film the first time lapse because the time lapse is the only thing really that picks much up by night. It's a much more night capable mode. And we've got another couple of hours fishing easy. But I'm going to drop down to a more capable, handleable setup of just the tripod, because we'll start following the tide back out in about half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll start walking down the beach. Yeah, so I'll do a time lapse and I'll see you in a bit. In fact, it's got to the point, I've been that busy, I didn't realise how cold it had dropped until I walked down to cast and the sand has frozen. Oh, the long upright rod is the one that I want to flash, and it just did a little flash. Ooh. I have to keep his eyes on that. There we go, guys, another one. Little dabby. I'm going to get it back because it was quite deep hooked. Managed to get the hook out quite nicely, quite cleanly, but I'm not going to hang about. I'm going to get the fish back. 2 species, I can't complain. Let's get it back. Guys, right, I've just been talked with everybody. I should have recast this first, in fairness. I'm going to rebait this, right, just with fresh worm, and I'm going to bring in and rebait the other one. However, it could well be last cast. The thing about Mablethorpe, it's deceiving. It's very steep, and then it plateaus and it stays level for about 100-200 yards. It's a very long flat beach, very similar in fact to Cleethorpes, and that's because it's a manicured. It's a manicured beach. You know, they pump the sand up onto it. And they've removed all the features and buried the worm beds. It's nowhere near as prolific here now as it used to be. For worms, for fish, at least not yet. We are still quite early in the season, I grant you. You know, we're not even... You know, we're not even into spring yet. And this is, as far as I'm aware, a more summertime mark. But the discussion I've just had with Marcus is basically, we can't get back out this weekend. You know, it's here, and we make a night of it as best we can, or it's go home and don't fish again this weekend, which is not the preference, really, is it? So I'm going to have another cast of both rods, have a cup of tea and think about leaving the beach. I'm going and getting something warm to eat. See, the main reason to come down today, and I don't really mean to put any onus on the man, but the main reason was to come down to do some bait pumping and learn a little bit about it. But like I said, I think what's happened to the worm beds, because it's 3 times we've been now, 4 in total, and in between the first and the second visit they did a load of sand pumping, and they appear to have buried the worm beds, and they also appear to have removed, there was a nice shelf that the bass used to sit behind here. They appear to have removed that. I don't know if I've been here yet on a small enough tide to conclusively say that they've removed it, but I think they have. And all the trenches and gullies have gone. And without features, your fish are just going to drop back to just whiting and dabs. You're going to lose all the interesting fish. I held out a bit of hope early on when Jonathan had a little schoolie bass, but after that initial one, I think that was the only one that anybody's seen all night. So yeah, it's definitely a changing landscape down here. I think it needs some time to recover from what the local authorities have done to it with regards to pruning or manicuring the beach. Maybe that's all it needs, I don't know. But for now, it's a lot quieter than it used to be. Also, it has dropped bitterly cold. To the point where in between putting my hands in the live weight bait bucket, I'm having to warm them up on my hand warmer. Oh. Right, let's bring this one in. So we've tried a large worm bait, we've tried, what else have we tried? A clam bait, so we've tried razors. We've tried squid, razor and worm. Although this is big hooks. This one's a big hook rig. Well, I hope this isn't weed that's just made this go heavy, but I've got a feeling it is. Well, there's my leader. Where's the rig? There it is. Yeah, nothing. Ow. So we'll go with, what will we go with next? What shall we try? What shall we try? Well, I've got some squid open. I've got the squid and the razors open. Shall I try squid and razor again? Not sent that for a while. Although I do think chasing big fish tonight, I think might be a silly thing to do. Don't put two small rigs on. No, I can't bring myself to do that. No, I can't bring myself to do that. Right, let's use up these blacks. Let's do another big worm bait and use up these frozen blacks because they're well knackered now. Oh, what did I put on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blacks. I'm not backing it with anything. I'm just going to use the blacks. You know, no longer are we struggling to get through the whiting. Even the whiting appeared to have fecked off. So send out one more big bait. I'm guessing Marcus got the answer he was looking for without having to speak to me. He was walking down. I said one more big bait, and he's turned around and gone back. Yeah, like I said, when we arrived here time before last, when we came to come bait pumping, it was an eye-opener. It was a shock to see how featureless the beach had become. So like I say, from the time before, it was, you know, there was loads of features, loads of peaks, troughs, trenches, and that's all gone. It's just flat for about 200 yards. What's up? See, I hope you guys are all sort of appreciating. I'm trying to do less random waffling, less random talking. I'm trying to make it more about the fishing. I honestly don't know how much you guys have been able to see through any of that, and I won't know until the edit, but we'll see. I'll knock you off and come back to you when we've made a decision with what we're doing. Switch in a bit. Let's turn you back on, put you on those rod tips. The rod closest to you, I've just had a couple of little knocks on. Once again, the flatty rig, you know, the small fish rig, has just had a couple of taps on it, so we'll bring it in. I've got the live worm to get through anyway, so it'll do no harm to put some fresh worm on it. But we'll have a look at it, see if there's anything on it. Oh, it's heavy. Although I keep forgetting there's a 7-ounce lead on it and it's not a multiplier. Oh, I'm in already. Didn't realise I'd already had it all the way in. No, it's too early. Oh, it looks like I've got 2 stripped hooks. It's like walking on snow. The sand is that frozen. It looks like, I can't tell. but it looks like I've got 2 stripped hooks. Yes, 2 stripped hooks. So we'll get this rebaited and reshot, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Well, ladies and gents, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. Traditionally, Mablethorpe produces quite well, just not today. I'll bring this last rod in, and that's me calling it a night. So we'll see if there's anything on this together. I don't think there is, other than weed, because the weed has rolled back in with some authority. I've got the shock leader on. Oh, I have. Yeah. As I suspect. Oh no, that's that's the leader, not. Oh. Right, so I'll walk the line, see if there's anything on the other end of it, sort that out before I worry about detangling, de-weeding. Lead, 3 stripped hooks. Nah, nothing. I think we're just getting attacked by pin whiting. Yeah, so that's gonna be it from me today. Look, like I said, more than a little bit disappointed in the venue. I don't think there's anything else we could have done to put more fish on the beach. It's just one of those sessions, it's real fishing, innit? So until next time, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe, tight lines. God, pulling in all that weed's done me in. I'll see you later.